friends, it is time for a new video. I've been getting pretty regular with my schedule by now, so if you want to keep seeing my videos, first of all leave me a follow, and second of all I will continue to try and post a video every Sunday at 5 p.m. All the videos and challenges so far have been really fun. And speaking about past videos and challenges, last week we talked about my yes in fashion, so inspired by this TikTok trend where people will put a slideshow of some items that they love and then also do their nose in fashion, which is basically the opposite. So items or style elements or something they're trying to avoid. And this is why today we're going to talk about things I stopped buying for my wardrobe and why, or like general fashion mistakes, I guess you could say, that I'm trying to avoid now, or just things I don't like in general. And just like my previous video, this is supposed to help you view your own style from a different or more analytic perspective and help you make easier shopping or styling decisions in the future. By no means is this to hate on anyone who likes or wears any of the things I will mention in this video. I'm talking about my own style here, and there are like a bunch of things that I absolutely love on others. Like, they look great, I just don't like them on myself. Okay, let's start with the first part, which is clothing items I do not wear and why. First of all, it's pants. I do own a few pairs, but realistically basically never wear them. They're too uncomfortable for me and I prefer the look of skirts or dresses. I do have some wide flowy pants, like harem pants or something like that, and I do wear them a lot actually, especially in summer. Sometimes I wear leggings. I do have some cool like bondage pants with some stuff attached to them, which I do rarely wear for style because they look cool. The next is any dresses and skirts that are longer than mid-thigh maybe, or like above the knee. And sometimes floor length actually is fine too. Yeah, but for length in between knee and floor length, it's a big no for me. Why? Mini skirts always give me grandma vibes for some reason. It's just not my style. I like the cute mini skirts and dresses. Also, anything made from heavy or thick materials. I prefer flowy and lightweight, as I mentioned. Also in the other video I talked a bit about this. Occasionally I like velvet and such. In winter it's fine. And like as a print on something, or if it's like elements, I think it can look really cool, but I don't like how it feels. I don't like the heaviness, the thickness. Next is a personal pet peeve of mine. Puffy sleeves. I cannot even explain why, because they can look so cute on others. I hate the feeling of like the elastic around my arms, the silhouette it gives me. Like, I'm sorry if you love looking like a Disney princess, it's totally fine, it's cute, but it's just a big no for me. I also don't like too many bows, frills, or like frilly layers I like, or puffy skirts I like, mini skirts, but if it's too much, I always think it makes me look like a cupcake, or you know, like cake decor. I don't know where this association comes from. Maybe it's just weird in my head. I do like bows and frills, but it shouldn't be too much of it, I think. I think actually it is because it adds to like the overall heaviness of something when there's just too much going on. So I did mention silhouettes and shapes earlier, also when I talked about dresses and skirt length. One thing I do not like is really tight bodycon dresses or pencil skirts. I prefer cute, fluffy, flowy items over stiff silhouettes, but also the overall vibe it gives me is just the opposite of my cute, fluffy, usual fun fashion style. So I think that is the main reason why I don't like it. I also don't like too much leather, PVC, latex. It's like a similar thing to the bodycon dresses and everything. It's just the overall vibe of it. The only exception are like PVC shiny shoes. I have some leather elements. I would not wear like a full look just leather or PVC or whatever. Of course I do for shows and such, on stage it looks cool. That's not what I'm talking about, just my own personal style. I wouldn't wear it like this. Also in cybergoth looks, especially PVC can be cool, sometimes leather. On one hand I love it if it's just elements, just like shiny crop top and then maybe a fluffy skirt or something like this. But on the other side, if it's too much, it's not my vibe anymore. Again, it just looks really stiff and rigid, and it's the opposite of my actual style. So I love it in elements, but not as a full look. Also, anything too modest, too elegant, anything that gives off more of these dark, evil queen vibes instead of creepy, cute fantasy. I guess that's more of a term to describe my style. For myself, I think it does not match my personality at all. I'm nowhere near a dark, evil queen, and I will never want to be seen as one. If I think of media or like movies and games, I think those characters are cool, but they are personality and style wise the opposite of me and who I am. Of course, what I'm also trying to avoid is any metal stuff that I'm allergic to, which is sadly a whole bunch of things. Besides anything that gives me allergies, also anything that will give me sensory issues, which is usually anything too restrictive, like full-on corsets, too heavy, or it's just made from a material that doesn't feel nice on the skin. So lastly, I'm going to talk about some style mistakes I am no longer making, and specific details I just try to avoid when I'm shopping or styling something. So the first thing is buying to fit into a label, I guess. Now this might be especially hard to hear for baby beds or newbies to the alternative scene, but please do not buy things just because you want to be specifically goth or emo or whatever and want to fit into one specific substyle or category, or because the item is popular among this group of people, or it would make you look more goth or whatever. I had a phase where I was experimenting and switching between aesthetics a lot, and oftentimes I would buy for that aesthetic. I just try to buy things that I actually love and I'm going to wear, and put the effort in styling this item in a way that I like it and it's wearable, instead of checking with a set aesthetic and seeing if it fits into that aesthetic. You are your own person, you have your own style, and that's a lot cooler than copying from some other people you see online. So yeah, whatever goth elitists say, don't listen to their so-called style advice. Wear what you like. It is nobody's business and nobody has a right to judge you or make you feel like they are above you in some way. Your style is probably the least important part of being part of any subculture out there. Next important topic is pretty similar to what I just mentioned. It is not buying for my fantasy self, meaning I don't buy things for who I want to be or things that look cool on others that I've seen without considering that I am a different person. They might not actually fit my own style or body type, or I might not actually feel comfortable wearing them. I also stopped buying specific statement pieces and clothes that I would only wear to like one event, and other than that I wouldn't be able to style them or wear them or incorporate them in my style. Or like buying a full outfit or things that just work with each other but with nothing else that I have in my closet. So I'm trying to find individual items I like, but also that are wearable with other items. It has to be versatile, individual pieces that I can mix and match. Anything I cannot style in multiple different ways is a no, because it's just a waste of money. Same thing with super delicate accessories or anything I would be afraid to wear or anything that I would struggle to wash properly. I try to avoid those. But also, avoiding doesn't necessarily mean avoiding in buying them. I will also, if I buy something, I will actually wear it. I will not just keep it in my closet to save it for that one magical day where it will be perfect, or just to wear it out once or twice a year because it could be broken or damaged or whatever. Especially my cooler items now, I try to wear them as often as possible because I love them, and I try not to be afraid anymore of them getting broken or whatever. You can fix almost anything. So when styling something that I own, first thing I am avoiding is too many shapeless layers or overly baggy outfits. In my opinion, full shapeless outfits just don't look good. If I'm being honest, they don't really look good on anyone. But to each their own, you might like it, it's totally fine. I won't judge you for wearing a completely baggy outfit, especially not if it's for comfort, obviously. So if I wear an oversized shirt, for example, I would pair it with leggings or shorts and tights. And if I ever wear baggy pants, I would wear them with a fitted top if I wear something that has a lot of layers, or if I layer multiple dresses or skirts, I will always add a belt or one of those stretchy corset belt thingies that don't restrict me too much. Why? Because it just looks way more intentional that way. The contrast of baggy versus fitted makes the whole, look stand out more, and it makes it look just a tiny bit more put together, I guess, without taking away from it being casual, because that's what you usually want with baggy styles, I think. I just try to avoid looking like a teenager that threw on anything they could find in the 5 minutes they had before running to catch the bus in the morning, because this is the vibe that a lot of super overly baggy and unstyled outfits give me. This is why I'm trying to avoid that, and I always try to bring back some shape, and of course also because the baggy piece stands out more if there's some fitted parts of your outfit. Also, overstyled or over-accessorized looks. Now, hear me out on this. I prefer maximalist styling over minimalism, and I like to wear a lot of accessories. But there's a fine line between building a really cool fit with a bunch of matching accessories and having your whole outfit be so overcrowded there are no clear details visible anymore. I really love statement pieces, but the point of statement pieces is for them to stand out and not drown in a bunch of random accessories. And this again for me has to do with the look feeling intentional instead of completely random. And lastly, I will avoid anything that will make my outfit feel too costumey, she said while wearing cat ears, yeah, or that is just overused in alternative fashion in general. So certain shapes and materials and prints and symbols, like spider webs, especially on fishnets, skulls, bat prints, similar motifs. Some of these can be cute, but for example, skull print is so overused in fashion in general, not only alternative fashion. Also, those spiderweb tights, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you have the exact picture in your mind. It is just something I see with Halloween costumes all the time, and I used to love wearing them. Also those bat tights. The black tights with these tiny white bats, you have seen those. It makes me feel like I'm wearing a costume, even though it is not. And this is why I'm trying to avoid. So they are cute as a fashion item as well, just not on me. They don't fit my overall vibe. So we are near the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. These were a few things that don't work for me specifically. So again, I'm happy to chat and discuss all the things I mentioned and talked about. I love to discuss different styles, different opinions, and feel free to add a comment about some of these things that you agree with me on, and maybe some that you disagree with me on, that you actually love to wear. And tell me why. I would love to know what you specifically like about these things. I would love to know why people love specific things that I'm trying to avoid, because maybe there are some things that just in my mind I see as something different than others do, and maybe I would learn to love a few more things if some people gave me a different point of view on them. Or if you want me to step out of my comfort zone again and try a specific look or aesthetic, even though I wouldn't wear it by myself, like it can literally be anything. I love these kind of experiments. I'm curious to hear that as well, and I might actually try it. So yeah, see you next Sunday, I guess. Bye!